My name is Shravya Gupta, and I'm from Tahoma Senior High School, presenting the following informative for the 2022 National Qualifiers Tournament. I do gymnastics, and in 8th grade, I broke my finger and missed a lot of practice. I have minor anxiety, so the idea of going back to my gym after missing so much of it, that absolutely terrified me. My parents spent hours upon hours working with me to get through my fear by talking to my coaches and listening to my concerns until I finally mustered up enough courage to go back to the place that I love, all because of their support. I consider my relationship with my parents to be quite strong. In the article titled Youth Statistics, Family Structure and Relationships by Act for Youth, it was said that 63% of people in the US have had a good relationship with their parents. I am so lucky to be part of that 63%, with the type of parents that are always there for me, whether it's my mom ready to push me to be my most successful, or my dad ready to listen to me ramble on and on about anything and everything. And trust me, this girl can ramble. But although I've had a pretty positive experience with parent-child relationships, parent-child relationships are not uniform in any way. So there are negative relationships between parents and their children throughout our world. So today I'll be talking about the importance of parent-child relationships. First, I'll touch into the differences between good versus bad parenting. Then I will talk about the different parenting styles in different cultures around the world and throughout history before finally addressing what we all want to know, the psychological impacts of these both positive and negative parent-child relationships on children. To begin with, we have to define what a good versus bad parent-child relationship looks like. The article Five Qualities of a Strong Parent-Child Relationship by the Child Development Institute stated that there are five main attributes of a good parent-child relationship. For starters, both the parent and the child should always feel physically and mentally safe. Safety, according to the Child Development Institute, is at the core of bonding and self-regulation. Through these interactions, a trust is built that will last a lifetime. The second quality of a strong parent-child relationship is love, specifically unconditional love. The Power of Unconditional Love, an article by Newport Academy, reminded us that when parents accept, love, and show affection to their children, even when they make mistakes or fall short of expectations, that is unconditional love. The third attribute of a good parent child relationship is mutual respect. Everyone, I'm sure, has heard the term respect your elders, but parents have to reciprocate that respect back to their child as well. The Child Development Institute touched on the fact that respect starts with good communication. When you truly listen to your child's needs and let them know that they're being heard, that is showing your child mutual respect. The second to last aspect of a strong parent child relationship is acceptance. Acceptance is a pretty open minded idea. Like the Canadian Counseling and Psychotherapy Association stated in their article, The Power of Parental Acceptance, when they reminded us, remember just how powerful acceptance can be in helping your child have a happy and prosperous life. To help them and tell them you love them no matter what grade they get. And to remind them you don't care whether or not they made the team. Flexibility, the last defining aspect of a strong parent-child relationship, is also really important because change is one of the only constants in life. So parents have to be ready to be flexible in those situations to help their child adjust to the changes happening and figure out what works best for them. So there are some predefined aspects of positive parent-child relationships. But what about bad ones? Healthline recognized a couple aspects in their article, Signs, Effects, and How to Change It, including over/under involvement, little to none or way too much discipline, withholding affection and attention, and shaming. But the overall worst aspect of a bad parent-child relationship is definitely the mental/physical abuse. Abuse can absolutely shatter a parent-child relationship, or any relationship for that matter, completely beyond repair. NCBI expanded on this, further explaining how a childhood history of maltreatment can completely undermine the quality of the current relationship with that abusive parent in terms of perceived closeness, frequency of contact, and exchanges of support. So there are major defining aspects of these both good and bad parent-child relationships. But now that we've defined what a good versus bad parent-child relationship looks like, how did we get to that conclusion? Parenting styles have changed so much. throughout history and among different cultures around our world. For example, in regions such as Greece and Rome, parents were more focused on getting their children to act as adults as soon as possible, giving them hard adult like tasks at really young ages, like 6 years old. Six. In early colonial America, American parents based their parenting style off of Puritan beliefs. And like the article, Parenting Styles Then and Now by Hybrid Parenting informs us, the term Puritan meant against pleasure, and thus play was considered sinful. Parents wanted to raise obedient children, so they focused on teaching them to memorize scriptures and focus on the schoolwork. But this type of controlling parenting style is now known as authoritarian and mostly exists in Asian cultures like India. Marianne Luchhead from People Opposing Views referenced the fact that although the Indian style parenting is actually very economically successful, it does limit individual autonomy, which therefore can impact the child's mentality. But this in no way categorizes any Indian parent as, or any Asian parent as well, as it is a stereotype and there is no uniform parent child relationship. The authoritarian parent, according to Very Well Mind, represents the most controlling style of parenting. Rather than valuing self control and teaching children to manage their own self behaviors, the authoritarian parent focuses on adherence to authority. Another style of parenting that is actually the most common and most successful is the authoritative style. The difference between these two styles of parenting is that while the authoritarian parent focuses on controlling and coercing their children, forcing them to do things that they think will be most successful, the authoritative parent helps their child and guides them into being their most successful without actually controlling their actions. These two parenting styles are the best known and most common in our world today and have changed so much throughout history and differ quite a bit between different cultures around our world, but they all have the exact same idea of keeping the children alive and well with different approaches. This brings us to our final topic and our most important, the psychological impacts of these both good and bad parent-child relationships on the children. In good parent-child relationships, there are some really positive effects, including people skills. Parenting and I explained this in their article, The Parent-Child Relationship, Why It's Important, saying that when children have a secure and healthy attachment to their parents, that can often help them to be more likely to have healthy, happy, and content relationships with other people in their lives. Other impacts of good parent-child relationships include children being more caring, more affectionate, and having better child development. Right steps highlighted in their article why the parent-child relationship is important, that children absorb stimuli from their environment. So when parents provide that active and nurturing environment, that helps their child develop their cognitive, emotional, and language skills, which helps them further go onwards in life. So there's some pretty positive aspects of these good parent-child relationships. But then there are the harmful, inefficient, and overall negative parent-child relationships to look out for. Some of the worst effects include a loss of self-esteem, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, and other terrible mental disorders. Middle Class Dad highlighted in their article 25 Bad Parenting Statistics That'll Change the Way You Parent that 1 in 58 people in the US have suffered from some type of child abuse. That is so many children that have been made susceptible to these terrible mental disorders. They'll now have a harder time moving forward in life and being happy and prosperous because of their parents' actions. So, the way that a parent treats their child can have serious consequences, whether they're really positive, helping their child be successful in every aspect of the word and move forward in life, or it leads to tragedy. All in all, parent-child relationships are so important because they affect the way that a child moves through life. Because parents are our role models. My parents have been my role models, teaching me and guiding me through my hard times in life, like when I broke my finger in gymnastics. Because parents teach us to be more empathetic and kind, more persevering and smart, and overall how to be successful in every way. Although there is no uniform, perfect parent child relationship out there, the world needs to be in that 63% of people in a relatively good parent child relationship because those children move on to be more successful and prosperous in life. So I'll say it again, the parent child relationship is so important. Thank you.